I'm just going to give my opinion on some hard passes that I've had to make. I want to give a little retrospect into my collection anyways. So I really started with trying to get the Black Series figures that represented the figures that I had in my original Star Wars collection. So for the most part, I've been like sort of collecting the figures that I had. For example, the Jedi Knight Luke, the Bespin Luke, a Darth Vader, Boba Fett. But one thing leads to another, right? Like I didn't mind this. This was the Jedi Knight Luke that I had originally, right? I got him, I believe it was in this orange stripe or blue stripe box. I don't have that box anymore, of course, but I really took him out to keep him on my shelf. When they released this figure as a Walmart exclusive, and you can really see, based on the head sculpt, that this was a really good upgrade to the figure. So I did not mind getting that figure as an upgrade because there was actually something very, very different about it, and it was the head sculpt. So Boba Fett on the Empire Strikes Back card is a pass for me. The reason, I have a bunch of Boba Fetts. So I have the Comic-Con Boba Fetts that I got at Comic-Con. I bought two, one so I can open and one so I can leave on the card. And that card is actually super nice. So I didn't want to get another Boba Fett on a card because I really like that. It has a holographic card. Now I think if they wanted to do something different for Empire Strikes Back is they could have released the same figure, just maybe not on the holographic card and one that said Empire Strikes Back. I think that would have been super awesome. Or maybe if they had modified the Boba Fett to have some sort of rocket firing backpack, because I'm looking at this and I'm thinking, like, how hard would that have been to be like sort of a launching tube and this to be like a little plastic missile that like locks in? I think it would be super cool and super easy. So here's the Comic-Con Boba Fett, here's the regular Boba Fett. Of course, I got the prototype Boba Fett, and just recently, if you saw my other video, I got the Boba Fett where I can take off his helmet that I modified. So check out that video too. But that's my pass on Boba Fett. So I'm going to talk about the Dagobah Luke. There's going to be a Luke just on the Empire Strikes Back card. It's the Dagobah Luke. They're also going to have a 2-pack. It's going to be the Luke and Yoda 2-pack, where he's got the little thing so he can carry Yoda on his back, and you'll get 2 figures. I think it's a little bit more expensive than just buying the 2 figures separately, but with some of the accessories, I think that's the way to go rather than getting the Empire Strikes Back card. But I'm super excited about the new head sculpt that they got on this Bespin one, so I think that Luke's going to be great. My pass here is, of course, the Snowtrooper. These were like at Ross for like $2.99. I think I did a little bit of army building with these, and I traded some off and just gave them away to friends that wanted to put them in their collection. They were at Target for a while. I remember they went reduce. I didn't pick one up because I was hesitant, and then I'm glad I didn't because like a couple of weeks later they were all at Ross and they were like $2.99. I did get this figure. This is the Rebel Soldier figure. I think this is the perfect example of releasing a new figure, something that people can get excited about. This was pretty awesome, especially for army building because of the interchangeable face. And check out my other video on that. I did some close-up comparisons of all the many of the different options you can do with the 2 faces side by side. I am going to pass on the Chewbacca on the Empire Strikes Back card, and not because I don't think it's fantastic, because I think it's awesome that they finally did a new sculpt for Chewbacca. I mean, all the other Chewbaccas were based on that original sculpt. Then they came out with the one for Solo, the Star Wars movie, which I think was cool. I did pick that one up because it was different. This one I ordered right away. This is the one with C-3PO, so it's really cool. You get C-3PO. It's the Empire Strikes Back. You could basically break them apart. He's got a net, and I did a full review on this figure also. But this is the best part. He's a new sculpt, and the one on the Empire Strikes Back card is this sculpt. Unless you want it on the Empire Strikes Back card, there's really no reason to get it. So that's why it's a pass for me. But I think it's a great option for somebody who didn't want to spend that extra $10 and get this 2-pack. So part of my pass is going to be Darth Vader on the Empire Strikes Back card. And the reason why is because I have this version. I have the version where his helmet comes off. I have the Star Wars carded version that came in the special collector's edition. And even though Darth Vader's the pinnacle character in Star Wars, or one of the pinnacle characters in Star Wars, I just don't see having another one on my shelf. I think the ones that I have fit in perfectly into my collection. Even the carbonized one is kind of like a little different for me. It's not something that I normally collect. So let's just get to the Clone Wars. I just recently did the review on Kanan and Ahsoka, and this is why I'm not going to get the new Clone Wars figures. I like to take my figures out of the package. I did not see enough difference between this figure and the new figure to make it worthwhile to get the new figure. However, with that being said, they had the exclusives or the pre-orders on the Walmart website today, and they had a new version of Ahsoka, and I did pre-order that one because there's a significant difference between that figure and this figure. Now, out of the ones that they announced for the Clone Wars, I am very, very interested in Zeb. And the reason why is because this character is, because his character is based on Ralph McQuarrie's original drawings for Chewbacca. That's what his race is based on, this character. So this is a previously released figure, and it's a Ralph McQuarrie concept art figure. They had a whole series of them, and I am actually super interested in getting Zeb in a Black Series size. I think he should be comparable to maybe like the Thing, or at least the heavy metal Mandalorian figure, so he should be a little bit bigger. I'm not taking anything away. I think those boxes look really great, and if you're an in-box collector, it may be worth filling your shelves with those instead of looking at the little red badge with numbers on the side. You can actually see the artwork and stuff like that. But for me, there's got to be enough change in the figure. If you look back, I just did the Jango Fett. I showed you the differences between the new release and the original Jango Fett, and there were enough changes there to kind of warrant wanting to get a new one. So that's my passes on pretty much all of the Clone Wars figures. I already got Chopper, I already got Ahsoka, I got Kanan. I'm just looking forward to the Zeb. I think that's going to be a really cool figure. It's new, it's great, and I'm looking forward to it. The carbonized Stormtrooper. I'm going to pass on that just because I have a lot of Stormtroopers, and I did a video where I basically just painted one in like chrome. So it's kind of like I made my own carbonized Stormtrooper. I'm looking forward to the Beskar Armor Mandalorian, and if you had seen my previous video, I had customized a Mandalorian that I picked up, and gave him like a little jetpack so he kind of fit in. And some of the things, like if you want to check it out, this is I painted this silver and like brown and stuff like that, and I made this custom robe. And you're probably wondering, how did you grab that backpack off? What I did was I actually just put a magnet in his back, and it's covered up by this cloth, and it just like attaches on. So his jetpack's always on. So I kind of like look forward to seeing if like Hasbro will do stuff like that. I think it's kind of cool when they can think outside of the box and maybe just add in something a little bit extra. I saw what they did recently with that Han Solo in the Carbonite. If you didn't have that in your collection, that carded Carbonite block is actually really cool, especially when you got a bunch of Boba Fetts to go with it. So I think it's worth getting. I also think that they could have done like one extra thing, like maybe put some LED lights in that with like a AAA battery compartment on the bottom, some way to like give it a little flicker, or even like some glow-in-the-dark paint or something on some of the colors so that you get something, you know, from that block. Those are my passes. I'll run down them again really quickly. I'm going to pass on pretty much all of the Clone Wars except for Zeb, the Carbonized Vader, Carbonized Fett. Not going to get it. Carbonized Stormtrooper. No, because I just painted my own. The Empire Strikes Back cards. Vader, Chewbacca, Boba Fett. Not getting those. I may be looking at the Luke and Yoda 2-pack instead of the Empire Strikes Back carded Luke on Dagobah. So thanks for tuning in. Leave some comments. Let me know what you think. Tell me if I'm missing up on something. If you got one of these figures that I'm passing on that you think is like great, let me know. You know, subscribe to my channel. Follow me on Twitter at Ochre Studios. And hit me up. I always will love to have a conversation with anybody about the figures and why we're collecting them. And I just have to have a reason to get something new. And there has to be enough change. And like I said, Boba Fett, you know, if they rocket firing backpack would be super cool, right? How hard would that be? I mean, this was fantastic, this swappable face on the Rebel Soldier. Fantastic job. Maybe an updated Rebel Hoth Luke, you know, to go with the Tauntaun or something like that. So I guess there's a rumor that there's a Wampa coming out. That would be super cool for a new Wampa, especially if it was a single pack. But those are my passes. This is kind of what I'm looking forward to. Thanks for tuning in. I really appreciate it. And make sure you keep coming back for more.